Got it over in the sport mode, and we're gonna get our acceleration. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Chevy Tahoe Z71. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larch Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this Tahoe. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go to the front end of the Z71 Tahoe. So first off, I've always been a huge fan of the new Tahoe's hood just because of how muscular it looks. We've got these signature LED reflector lights here with the accenting just down below. Got our Z71 badge, and then notice how the grille has all been blacked out, including the Chevy bow tie, and then notice the accenting off to the side here. We've got the red tow hooks here on the front, and then we've got some skid plate action happening because again, this is an off-road package. Parking sensors are integrated into the front as well, and just my personal opinion, this is the best looking Tahoe from a front end perspective just because of how aggressive it looks in the stance that it has as well. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped on 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see the design on the wheels is really cool. So they have the silver here on the top that makes it look like it's floating because they've got dark metallic gray behind that. And then you do get more aggressive tires again as part of the Z71 package. Now this one does have the air suspension as well. And then notice how this is kind of like indented in, so again it gives it a muscular appearance. Got your Tahoe badge, your Z71 badge. Notice the mirrors are two-tone. And then if we actually take a step back, you can see the full side view here, and again, it just looks really good. Now here's our key fob for the Tahoe. You got the Chevy logo there on the back, and we have a bunch of functions here on the front. The unlock, lock, remote start, that's the opening for the hatch, and then that's for the window in the rear. If we press that twice, we will open up the hatch itself, and that's kind of what we'll focus on. Wait for it, wait for it. Boom. Now before we pop in the back, let's quickly talk about the capabilities. We have a payload capacity of 1,488 pounds and a towing capacity of 8,100 pounds. Now notice how we have the accenting right there. And then we have all these controls here for the seats. So for example, if I want to raise the seat right there, well, it's next to the other seat, so that's not gonna work. We'll do the other side. If I want to raise it, just press that button right there. Got to make sure that the second row is not so close to it that it can't raise. And then we will pull the headrest up so you guys can see what that looks like. But yeah, storage space back here is actually really good. And then you can see underneath here as well. And yeah, other than that, that's everything for the back. And so if you want to close it up, all you can do is just press that button right there. And well, bada bing, bada bam, bada boom, she's closed. Now let's finish things up here with the rear. So first off, notice how the pillars right here are black, and so it makes it look like the roof itself kind of is floating in a sense. Always have loved the new Tahoe taillights, look fantastic. Got the Tahoe logo, again, the blacked out Chevy bow tie logo. Parking sensors here on the back. That's the bezel that covers the receiver hitch. We've got the sporty looking exhaust tips as well, which don't worry, we'll have an exhaust clip a little bit later. But yeah, other than that, that is everything for the back. Now here's the door panel in the rear. So first off, notice we have beautiful leather all over the door panel itself, and then you've got wood trim kind of dissecting it. And then here's a look at the door handle. And then we do have the Bose sound system. You can see how beautiful the design is on the speaker. Got the Chevrolet logo. And then here is the seat in the second row. And then you can see the other one. This one has the captain chair set up. But you've got nice stitching here on the seat, and then you've got all the adjustments and everything. I'll quickly pop in. So the seat is pushed a little bit forward, but you can see legroom, even with the seat pushed forward, is great. Headroom's great as well. We've got some cup holders here. We've got the climate controls just down below. We do have heated seats here for the second row as well. And so as you can see, we're in the third row here, which is actually very spacious. I fit back here comfortably. Got the cup holder here. Actually have a little USB port as well, which is pretty cool. But other than that, let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. So again, we've got beautiful leather here and all over the top, and then we've got the wood trim. And then we have all of our window controls down here with the mirror adjustments. This does have power folding mirrors. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then again, another speaker there for the Bose sound system. And then here's the seat at the front. So again, you can see the design here and then all of the stitching. Power adjustments with the seat. There's your pedal layout. And then we have our light control over here, and we've got our drive mode select, and then that is for the air suspension to raise or lower it, your drive line select, your parking brake, and then a bunch of controls over here. So Your lane departure, stability, parking sensors, hill descent, that's for the 360 camera system, the outlet, and then the trailer brakes. Steering wheel is automatically adjustable, and there's one more look before we pop in. So here is our steering wheel in the Tahoe. Notice the Chevy bow tie in the center is all blacked out. Get your normal voice command, phone controls for the center stack. Got your heated steering wheel button, and then the cruise control, and then the distance function on that. And then you have your windshield wiper / turn signal stock. And other than that, that's all for the steering wheel. So we've got the gauge cluster here. You can see it's a full digital gauge cluster, and just like before, we've got some menus you can scroll through here in the center, but you can see definitely looks really nice now with this full digital readout. And then, of course, we've got the different drive modes that we can go through. So if we twist the dial, we have our sport mode, we've got our off-road, and then we have our tow haul. And we'll just let it go into the sport mode for a second there, just see if it changes anything up or if it just, yeah. So it looks like it just pops in the sport mode. It doesn't actually change too much in terms of what the gauge cluster looks like. And then you've got the normal as well. And like I said, you can also customize the air suspension. So notice that I can go into the different modes for it, and then I can use the dial to basically shift into the different heights with the air suspension itself. So we'll just leave it normal for today because we're just driving on road. But yeah, there's the digital gauge cluster. So here's the center infotainment system. First off, I'm going to pop it into reverse. You can see the backup camera. Got trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then the bird's eye view. And then you can see, just like before, the camera system's still really good. Still shows you a bunch of different viewpoints here. And then you've got the zoom in function there on the receiver hitch. And then there is that camera button you guys saw earlier. So I can actually exit out of this, and then if I press the camera button, it just pulls it back up. So that's what that does. As for the rest of the infotainment system, response time, just like before, is still really good, but notice how the actual display screen looks just a little bit more modern. Notice we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well. So I think that Chevy's just done a really good job. Touchscreen before I had no complaints about, and this just looks nicer. So that's good. Now here's our transmission selector here, and then we've got the low range, and then notice we got the leather trim right there. We've got our analog controls for the radio, climate controls. So again, you've got the rear climate with the 2 climate zones up front, and we have the heated seats for the front passengers. Wireless phone charging with our charging area with like the USBs, all that fun stuff. Got some cup holders here. Here's the center console, and then if we open that up, you can see this is pretty much unchanged. And then notice we've got nice padding here on the dash, and then wood trim, and then all over here has some nice stitching and padding, so it just looks really premium. And then you can see within the glove box, and you guys are probably wondering about this paper. That's because, well, you can see it's just waiting on the steps on the side, so if you're wondering on that. But anyways, let's finish things up with the top. So we have a full panoramic sunroof here on the Z71. And then if you guys are wondering, we've got universal garage door openers. We've got the controls here for the sunroof, all that fun stuff. And then this is just for the tailgate area to open that up. And then that's for the seats to lower those or raise them. And so you have all those controls here at the top. So here is the window sticker on this 2022 Tahoe. So first off, if you guys want to read all the standard equipment, it is all in that area. Feel free to freeze the frame. I want to focus on the options. So we've got the Z71 off-road package. You guys can see that. And then the luxury package. And notice what the luxury package adds to this. So, you know, the HD surround vision, and then some stuff with the seats and the steering wheel. And notice how it kind of pops down with all of this stuff. So there's a lot included with it. And then we have the off-road capability package, which is awesome because, again, we get the limited slip differential, Magnaride air suspension, and then this one has the max trailer tow package as well. And we have the off-road performance package on top of that, another $2,600. And notice 6.2 liter V8, dual exhaust tips, all that fun stuff. The panoramic sunroof is standalone option. And then notice the power with the seats is also a standalone option. But yeah, notice quite a bit on this particular Z71. Total MSRP, $71,865. The only thing that I can think that this is really missing is just the camera mirror system. But obviously with the microchip issues, there's a lot of options that aren't on vehicles nowadays. But still, this thing's crazy loaded. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off here on the Z71. There's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors. rest of the rear, and let's set off. We are setting off here in the Tahoe Z71, and first off, let's talk about road noise and ride quality. So from a ride quality perspective, it's very smooth, very smooth. And then from a road noise perspective, it's actually very quiet and insulated as well. So yeah, they've just done a really good job with making this feel like a luxury vehicle, which is really good. I mean, I can tell that a lot's gone into the suspension with this. You can tell with the, again, with the MagneRide and with the air suspension, that it's just always changing and adjusting, but it's not really perceivable. But the way that I can perceive it is I've driven so many cars on this road, and when I go over bumps, this thing just doesn't get upset and you just don't really feel it. So yeah, they've done a really good job with that. So I guess from the daily driver perspective, super solid. And seat comfort, the seats are a little bit on the stiffer side of things, but not in a bad way. Like, they're very supportive, which I like. So yeah, I think they've done a good job with the daily driver stuff and the comfort stuff. I think that is all really solid here with the Z71 Tahoe. We've got it over in the sport mode, and we're gonna get our acceleration. Don't even have to go full throttle. That 6.2 is just so powerful that it just gets up and moves. 10-speed automatic transmission is also very responsive. So yeah, just really good. And again, it's cool with the digital gauge cluster. It all look, I don't know, I like this layout. I like how it looks a little bit. It just makes this feel, you know, more modern, more upscale as well. And so let's get into signing things up here with this Z71 Tahoe. And before I do that, I'll pop it back into the normal drive mode. Also, the drive mode select's way more responsive than it was before. Like, it's like instant, which is nice. That was something that I kind of complained with Chevys before. But exterior wise, this is my favorite version of the Tahoe. It looks just fantastic. Interior wise, it's not as nice as the High Country, but still it's a very nice interior. So it's just a nice place to be. And then aside from that, from a driving perspective, it's smooth, it's comfortable, it's quiet, it does a really good job with everything on that. Acceleration is strong with this 6.2 V8. You guys know I recommend the 6.2. It's the engine that's the one to go for. It's just powerful and it just feels right. And then yeah, just as an overall vehicle, it's great. I know some people see this as, you know, crazy expensive, but you got to understand, you're getting an off-road vehicle, you're getting a third row SUV, you're getting a vehicle you can tow with, and you're getting something that is also, you know, kind of like a luxury vehicle. It might not have all the nice luxury features you can get in the High Country, but it still has most of them, and it does a really good job. And now with the, you know, updates on the infotainment system and this new digital gauge cluster, it feels a little bit more modern, feels a little bit nicer. So yeah, I think Chevy's nailed it with this Tahoe. And so for this segment of full-sized SUV, and this is not luxury, I'm actually going to give this a really high score, a 9.5 out of 10, because I just think there's so much utility with this vehicle, and this segment's all about utility. It just does so much. It's really good on-road, like I said, and then it also has the off-road capability as well, and all the other stuff I mentioned. So yeah, that's why the score is so high, is this is just such a good multi-purpose vehicle. Now that's gonna sum things up for a video on this 2022 Chevy Tahoe Z71. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the Tahoe. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.